find stuff out.
All right, no problem. 1/3 of the new Trios champions and the #1 contender to the PPW World title, Sugar Dan Stofko, making his way to the ring. Not much time to prepare for this match, but he's as game as anybody to take on this challenge. What's up, bud?
Just my friend Quinn. He's just gonna sit in. You're good. You don't.
Oh, you're good. Sugar Dan with no real time to celebrate that Trios title win. Had to jump right back into the fire for his world title match.
You take these opportunities as you can get them. Ideally, you don't have a world title match, a heavyweight title match, about 30 minutes after you just went through a grueling Trios title match. But if anybody can do it, it is that man. It is Dan Stofko, the greatest No Limits champion of all time, although Rembrandt might argue with that. But Rembrandt used that as a springboard to the heavyweight title. Dio Bando used that Trios title as a springboard to the heavyweight title. Dan Stofko could do both tonight.
You know, it seemed like Dan Stofko is destined for this this title match right now.
It was supposed to be Matthew Yeager. Matthew Yeager will be back March 14th, a dream of spring. And given the weather report, I am dreaming of spring myself. But whomever wins this heavyweight title match has a date with Matthew Yeager on March 14th right here at the Slatington Expo Center.
Our world heavyweight champion, Dio Bando, sporting some new gear tonight.
Dio Bando coming up on, I don't know the exact record, but he is very close to the record for the longest PPW heavyweight title reign.
Gotta be closing in on a year.
He won that title in June. He won that title in June at Next Level. And I believe Bro Keller has the record, and he was right around that 10, 11 month mark before he lost the title to the Mecca Brian Johnson. And the Dio World Order shows no signs of slowing down.
This late in the night to get that type of crowd reaction.
This crowd has been amazing. This crowd has been energetic. PPW is known for long shows. Let's not mince words.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We had a packed house and they've been into it all night.
This evening is for the PPW Heavyweight Championship. When the bell rings, the man in charge, Mr. Steven Z. Introducing first, he's from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and he is now currently the 1/3 of the PPW Trios Tag Team Champion, the Prodigal Knight, Dan Stofko!
Dan Stofko in the first of what I believe are going to be many main events here in PPW.
From Harlem, New York, by way of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, he's weighing at 222 pounds. He's the current reigning and defending PPW Heavyweight Champion, Dio Bando!
Cementing his legacy as one of the great PPW champions of all time, Dio Bando, baby.
He's definitely a crowd favorite.
And kudos to him for also throwing out the open challenge tonight.
Yeah,
Not resting on his laurels.
and I'll, as the general manager, I can tell you, like, that was his idea to put it up in the Trios title match because he knows how that Trios title vaulted him to success, him to greatness. And Dio Bando is certainly one of those men that believes that greatness thrives against greatness.
Iron sharpens iron.
Exactly.
And here we go.
So many people here in the Slatington Expo Center on their feet, ready for our main event of the evening. Matthew Yeager waiting for the winner.
Big time respect between these two.
And a collar and elbow tie-up right in the center of the ring. Dio Bando with the side headlock. And if I'm Dio, I'm gonna pressure Dan Stofko, force of habit, Dan Stofko's gas tank. Just because, yes, Stofko is a cardio machine. Stofko is an incredible athlete.
But that tank can't be full.
Right. Dio Bando has not wrestled tonight.
Dio Bando looks in great shape tonight as well.
Dio Bando always in incredible physical condition. When I first saw Dio Bando, I was a backstage interview at the time. I did not have any sort of general manager positions. I believe Fast Freddy was our general manager at the time. And then it was Mr. Ruda.
Dark times.
But the first time I laid eyes on Dio Bando, like, that man is a star. That man has all the potential in the world, and he has realized it here over the past 9 months that he has been the heavyweight champion here in PPW. He has defeated the likes of Rembrandt, Adrian Soriano, Matthew Yeager, Chris Slade, Havoc. Griffin McCoy, yes, Precious, who Matthew Yeager sent out of PPW forever. A big twisting splash. Stofko going for that quick win, and that's what he's got to do.
Pulling out all the stops for this match.
Dan Stofko has to go for that quick win because he knows his endurance, whatever cap his endurance is, and that could be a big cap, it is diminished because he did wrestle less than an hour ago. And he's back in there right now. And he is in control. And if things keep going this way, he will be the PPW Heavyweight Champion.
What a night that would be for him.
That would be one of the greatest nights in the history of PPW for any one competitor. But he's in there with one of the best, Dio Bando, a former television champion as well. He has beaten some of the very best here. And Stofko is just starting to build that legacy, build his name. He is not in too different of a spot than where Dio Bando was about 2-3 years ago. And right now, Stofko ribs first across the knee of Bando, and that is going to make Stofko empty his win. That is going to possibly crack a rib.
Gonna have to start breathing a little harder.
Bruise a rib.
Start sucking in that wind.
Exactly, that's gonna make it harder to breathe. Bando almost threw Stofko right in the referee Steven Z.
Steve just got out of the way of that one.
And right now, Dio Bando, baby. A divided crowd.
It sounds very split right in half.
But they love Dan Stofko as well. It's the curse of being the champion. It's the curse of being at the top. When you're at the top of your game, when you're the champion, you win consistently, you get haters. There's people who hate Tom Brady because he wins all the time. Dio Bando wins all the time.
Look at him holding Sugar Dan up. Letting that blood rush to his head.
Exactly. Reminds me of the great British Bulldog, Davy Boy Smith. With that hanging vertical suplex, Dio showing off the power, the core strength of the heavyweight champion. And
I have a feeling this won't be the first time or the last time that we see these two in the ring together.
Absolutely not. This is far from the first time we've seen Dio Bando in a main event. This will not be the last time, I promise you. We see Dan Stofko in a main event. Especially if he wins that heavyweight title. He'll be in the main event with Matthew Yeager next month. But Dio driving Stofko face first into the mat. And Stofko wisely rolling out of the ring. Take that 10 count. And this
Gotta use every second of it.
And this could be, I'm gonna give the devil his due. This could be something that Stofko learned from those years under the tutelage of Travis Norbert. Take those little shortcuts. Take those little things that are gonna give you a competitive advantage. And as much as he doesn't want to admit it, Dan Stofko, I'm sure, learned a lot against Travis, under the wing of Travis Norbert. And of course, he's broken free, and I think he's gonna be on the bigger and better things.
You never forget those little tricks.
You do not.
Dio playing to the crowd a little bit. That might not be the smartest move.
He feeds off their energy. Dio is a big believer in energy, in mindset, in your spirit, and he feeds off of that crowd, whether they love him or hate him. But look at the athleticism of Stofko.
Right over the ring steps.
Kicks Bando right in the face. Steven Z being a diving forearm strike.
He looks like he's too impressed to make a count.
Steven Z, this is the equivalent of a referee sitting on their whistle in the playoffs.
Sometimes you just gotta let him go.
We did see a double count out earlier tonight. I think Steven Z is trying to avoid that happening right now because that would not send our crowd home happy. And that's not what you want to think of as an official, but look at Stofko, cutter!
Big cutter from the top rope.
Springboard cutter by Dan Stofko, 1, 2, almost a new champion! Dan Stofko, less than a second away from reaching the very top of PPW. The resilience of Dio Bando, that is why he is the heavyweight champion. But he is facing a challenge and a half from Dan Stofko, who has waited for this moment, who believes in his heart, and he could be 100% correct that he is the best talent PPW has to offer. And his strikes are, I would put his strikes up against anybody's. Just my opinion.
With boots like that, it's hard to disagree.
Two count there. Dio Bando a little dazed and confused right now. Dan Stofko is in position to make history, claim a PPW Heavyweight Championship. Spine buster by Bando. Maybe not. And that title is rarefied air. In the past 2 years, you've only had 4 PPW Heavyweight Champions. Psycho knee by Bando. Adrian Soriano, Facade, Rembrandt, Bando, that's it. If you go back to Brian Johnson, they're the only champions since we've been here in Slatington for over 3 years. And Dio's feeling the power of the warrior. But a big roll-up by Stofko. Are we going to see a Styles Clash? Dio Bando had that so well scouted. Used his long legs to kick his way out. Rainmaker! Big Rainmaker by Dio Bando.
And a second.
Who is in the CEO chair here in PPW, trying to retain his office as the man around these parts. And this is where that big match experience that Dio Bando has really comes into play. Running start. Dio intercepts the boot, back elbow. And he's
up the crowd.
He's got PPW Nation behind him. Stofko is right behind him with a boot.
Sugar.
And another. Dan Stofko at the precipice. Diving senton. Ripcord knee. And he's feeling it. He's feeling that heavyweight championship gold in his grasp. Powerbomb! 1, 2. And now
Here comes the Styles Clash.
Dio's caught. Delivered.
New champion.
This could be it. 1, 2. No! This entire building
Thought it was over.
thought Dan Stofko was winning the heavyweight title right there. But you cannot discount the resilience of Dio Bando, baby. What a battle.
What a match. And the crowd letting them know.
I am hard-pressed to disagree. What a cap-off to an amazing night. Quiver pulled back, but Dio goes under. Big boot to the face.
It's got him up.
Inverted, go to sleep. Big stomp. Bando covers 1, 2.
Oh!
I thought we had him.
Are you kidding
I don't think
me?
you can get any closer than that.
Are you kidding me? What is it
Dio
going
can't
to
believe it.
take? What is it going to take to put one of these two men away? Dio Bando giving it everything he's got, every ounce. This may be the toughest fight he's had as the heavyweight champion. I would say the next big move is going to win it, but I can't say that.
These guys are exhausted.
They are, but they are digging deep. These are the championship rounds. This is what makes you a champion right here. Do you have enough to be a champion, Stofko? Dio face washing him with the
A
boot.
little bit of a taunt.
It's like Muhammad Ali in the 12th round right now. Dio Bando floating like a butterfly. And now they're facing off. Big chops. Ooh. Stofko returning fire. Tattooing one another. And now graduating to big forearms.
This is turning into a boxing match.
Turning into a display of fighting spirit. Who wants it more? Oh, big knee from Stofko. Dio answers the call.
Oh,
Release.
suit. Oh!
Stofko nails it.
No, elbow to the back of the head.
That is how Stofko puts everyone away. But
He's got to get up for the pin.
he doesn't have it left in him to make the cover. Can Dan Stofko get the cover, become the heavyweight
roll
champion?
over.
All you got to do is roll over, Dan.
It's there for you.
But it's Dio rolling away the intelligence of the champion. Both men struggling, fighting to their feet. Unbelievable. A battle of wills. Roaring elbow. Crescent kick, but Bando with a scoop. Just a back and forth battle.
Oh!
And this could be a 1, 2, and no!
Again.
Arm pad comes off. Stofko feels it surging in his veins. He knows he's got the kill shot right here. But Bando with a super kick.
Had no effect.
Powerbomb. Bando
Got him up.
up again. Drives that knee. And Dio Bando is holding Dan Stofko up right now, just holding him up.
He doesn't even look like he knows where he's at.
No, Stofko went for that elbow, but Dio has it caught. Swinging it out, driving Stofko down. Dio has put
That has to be
that's
it.
how he won the title. Many men have fell to this move. 1, 2, 3.
And that's it.
What a
What
match.
a match.
What a battle.
What a show.
That was spectacular.
And if he was building his case before, case closed. Dio Bando is one of, if not the greatest champion in the history of PPW.
I can't see who's going to take that belt from him.
A statement win in a career full of them. A statement effort from Dan Stofko, who has nothing.
What
nothing
an
to be
effort from
ashamed
Dan
of.
Stofko.
And you gotta wonder, if he didn't have to wrestle an hour ago, would it have been different? Would the result have been different if it was a fresh Dan Stofko tonight? And I'm telling you, that's gonna be going through Dan Stofko's head too.
But you know what? You said it earlier. You got to take the opportunities when they come.
Absolutely, and a show of respect, well-earned respect.
You gotta love that.
From Dan Stofko and Dio Bando. What a champion, what a challenger.
This will not be the last time we see these two together.
And Dio Bando stands tall once more as your PPW Heavyweight Champion. And what a champion, what a show here tonight. Heart of Gold has been won for the